Well, there it is. Hey, this is Woody here, going to be taking you through another commentary, and this is a 1v1 on the map Lost Temple. It's really quite a good map, but somewhat biased towards Terrans, but that's not so much of an issue when both the players are Protoss. So on the right hand side we have me playing as the red Protoss, and on the left hand side we have RiceRiceMayb as the blue Protoss. Now, I've seen this guy before, and I can't remember why I remember his name, but I do. And I think I know why, so it'll catch up with me in a moment. He's cutting off his probes a bit there. Could have been a bit more efficient. This isn't so much an epic game or anything like that. This is just a bit of cheese, so this is more for the people that want to learn, I guess. It's not like I did anything really perfect here, but I guess the thing is to analyze this and look at it at a situational point of view and just say, okay, don't panic, this is what you do. So I'm going to speed up the gameplay a bit, having said that, since there's not really that much point to look at these players. Both of them, scummy players. So we've got a gateway coming from me, and a gateway coming from my enemy. Mr. What the hell is his name again? RiceRiceMayb, there we go. So his probe has gone in and out, and that's made me suspicious. I've also spotted there, and it pulls back. So that's why I sent a little probe over here. That was a bit reckless. Sorry about this, I am a little tired. Yeah. So as I'm sending that one out, I actually send a probe of myself just to scout around these areas because I'm already wary of this probe. Because most people, when they scout your base, plus not to mention that was an early scout considering it's from the left position, although I only knew that once I scouted the bottom. You know, if they're dicking about outside your base, outside your vision with a probe, you know something's going on basically, or something's likely to go on. If the probe's constantly going around your base, it's a bit less obvious. So I think when I get in his base, he's already got the forge up, he's already making cannons. I'm getting cheesed a lot since this patch. This is all patch 1.1 by the way, these commentaries, this one and the one before this probably. So yeah, no major changes apart from in terms of Protoss, apart from the 5 seconds reduction on Cellets. So I'll be saving up quite a lot of minerals. At this point I realise that I'm getting cannon rushed, especially when I went in and scouted and saw the forge. I can slow down the game a bit now. So he started to put down some photon cannons in his base in case there is some sort of warping, which makes sense really, because I could quite easily do that. But I've got the probe in his base, doesn't seem to be doing much about it. But what have I got? I've got myself a robotics facility, that's right. Only one gateway and straight to robotics facility, because in most PvPs it tends to be a Colossi fest, so I wanted to go straight to Colossi anyway, so this is kind of handy. Immortal is perfect here, you know, don't panic if he's doing this, don't take off all your probes, you're going to need them for the minerals in order to keep on building Immortals. I didn't want to get too carried away with Immortals. I've got double robotics facility. I don't know if the second one was so necessary, but I did see all these cannons being built and I thought, what the hell, just get another one. So in case a cannon destroys this robotics facility, I've got another one spare. So obviously you just use up your immortal shields. They only take 10 damage per hit from a cannon, which would actually normally do 20 damage, so they're taking half the damage up until that shield. And then make sure you just pop whatever shots you can without getting hit. Now RiceRiceMayb's in a very difficult situation here. It's pretty unlikely he's going to win. He's got lots of minerals though, so he can keep chucking down the cannons. So if he can get a bit lucky, he might be able to get a very good position. Meanwhile, I'm going to build another gateway, because what's my main concern here is, whilst in my head I'm thinking, right, there's no way this guy can afford air. But you'd be surprised sometimes when people just afford all these things. So I really am concerned about void ray turning in my base, and what do I counter a void ray with when I've only got immortals? As unlikely as it should be, it can happen, but you've got this in-game timer here at the bottom left, so once people get used to builds and such, it'll be easy to tell what you can and can't build within a certain amount of time. So the idea is not really to panic, make enough immortals. I think I'm going to stop making immortals at this point. 3 should be enough to get pop shots and move back and let the Guardian Shield come up. He can't get any closer. Now, before he was his time, now I've got 3 immortals, it's not really going to happen. So at this point I'm just going to be using up my gateways really and trying to warp in units over here and hopefully do some real damage to his main. So yeah, apart from that, there's not much else to tell about this one. I'm not sure if this is really worth it, but I'm sure someone's learned something from it, so there you go. It's not really a big deal. And make sure you abuse the Immortals Guardian Shield, that way they take as much little damage as possible. So yeah. What are we looking at now? Photon cannons, more photon cannons. Yeah, nothing really new there. Warp gates, 3 of them, that should be enough. I was interested in going to Stargate, but I think I'll just focus on the warp gates, because that way I can just warp in stalkers to defend myself, or warp in stalkers and such to be aggressive. I was hoping that my sellers could just walk right in there and just easily kill the line, but with a couple of cannons that's going to complicate things. So I actually supply blocked myself a bit. Don't supply block yourself, boys and girls. My god. Learn from me. I needed though. I wasn't in such a situation where I needed the units, but obviously it is a hassle. So always try to build a pylon. Once you hit about mid-game, I'd say even like close towards 10 minutes, like 8 minutes onwards, you almost always need to be building a pylon after you've finished a pylon, practically. And it's the same for all races, supply depots and overlords. It gets kind of a hassle. You just need to make sure you keep building them in your rotation. Anyway, robotics bay, thermal lance. I'm still paranoid about void rays coming in here. And I'm a bit worried about the fact that I've warped in stalkers, but at the same time I just want to do some damage. So, just going to pause this for a second just so I can reflect on some other things. These photon cannons ain't going to be much of a threat at this point, and I wanted to make sure I get myself just one immortal. That'd be nice. Not immortal, sorry, colossi. Colossus, because it's one. Colossi is referring to the plural term. So anyway, back to the game rather than actual gibberish. Yeah, get yourself the extended thermal lance. That means my Colossus is going to have 9 range, and that way I can easily take on these photon cannons without even being touched, whereas the mortals will get hit. And whilst that shield is very good, they'll be slow to kill down those cannons. So I just want to basically mind-numbingly smash those cannons with a Colossus and just attack move. Simples. So meanwhile, I've got to try and test his base, see what's going on. Actually, I'm going to pause it just a second. Just want to show this observer. You see his path because it's quite common. You can see I've scouted a bit around here again and such, just to make sure there isn't any void rays, because people can quite easily build, if you're in this position, build a proxy Stargate over here, and void rays just got this tiny space to get to your base. Okay, thank you. Now, as you can see, just focus down the photon cannon, and he's going to pull off all these probes here, just hit run, hit run. He's in a difficult situation here, so he goes, alright, I give up. And that's it. I'm not sure if anyone learned anything from this, you know, feel free to post a comment and say, I learned something, but I doubt you, to be honest. I doubt you did. I'm very skeptic if you did. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. This has been Woody. Please subscribe, rate and comment.